Welcome back to RotoMoto. My name is Donnie. It is straight rhythm weekend, finally, first time in 3 years, and we will see 2 strokes, drag racing, a 1 mile rhythm section with no corners, and this time it's on the beach. And I've got all 18 riders. Yes, 18 guys vying for just 16 spots in the 252 stroke class at Red Bull Straight Rhythm, as well as a brief summary of the 125 guys at the end. First up are the ones you probably already knew about. Being an event directly promoted by Red Bull, it's going to be chock full of Red Bull riders. 2019 champion Ken Roczen heads the premier class, and it's rumored this will be the first time we've seen Kenny ride anything but red since winning an outdoor title on a 2016 Suzuki RMZ 450. Many have speculated that the German-born rider will be mounted aboard the newly refreshed YZ 250, but nothing confirmed by Ken or his camp as of Wednesday. Nothing really to say here. He's going to be billed as the favorite as he's the most winningest rider in the field, in addition to being the most recent Straight Bull Rhythm champion since we've been without the event in 2020 and 2021. I expect him to lock in for one of the top seeds. Troy Lee Design's Red Bull Gas also in play this weekend as Bam Bam Justin Barcia will line up for his first ever straight rhythm aboard a Gas MC250. Lucky for the rest of the field, there are no corners and you're automatically DQ'd if you cross the center line, so they won't have to worry about Bam Bam coming for their front wheel here. It will be interesting to have a heel-like personality like Barcia on board, as it's always good to have an infamous personality for people to rally behind or rally against. Sticking with the Austrian brands, Cooper Webb is also set to return to straight rhythm aboard a KTM 250SX. The 2021 AMA Supercross champion had a rough go during the 2022 season, and no doubt will have a chip on his shoulder this weekend. After talking openly about the burnout he's dealt with over recent years, it will be interesting to see if Coop's will to race has returned, and if he and the team have been able to work out the kinks of that new KTM chassis. We'll see his Red Bull KTM teammate Marvin Musquin return to the event for the first time since 2018, when he won the event. In fact, the newly minted O'Neill rider has won every single time he's entered the straight rhythm and would have to take the 2 seed in early predictions. This will be the 3rd different KTM platform Marv will have raced in 2022, after winning a race on a 450 in Supercross and racing a 254 stroke for a round of outdoors, as well as Motocross Des Nations. The final factory rider racing this weekend is the 3rd wheel on the Red Bull KTM trike and Midwest hero Aaron Plessinger. The Ohio native will enter his first straight rhythm after signing with Red Bull for the first time for the 2022 season. Nothing will make the crowd go nuts more than a cowboy hat, flowing mullet, and the sound of a 2-stroke ping. No Ronnie Mack on the entry sheet this year, but I think most guys would get by just fine with AP7 in the field. Next, let's touch on 4 guys that we haven't seen on the pro circuit in recent years, starting first with Justin Hill. His older brother Joss was just seen in World Supercross action last weekend, but we haven't seen Justin since Salt Lake Finale in 2020. The 2017 250 West Supercross champion was set to make a return to racing this year with the PRMX Kawasaki team, but that was derailed by a preseason crash and injury. But early reports indicate he will be racing for Team Tedder in 2023 and will make his KTM debut this weekend. Mike Alessi also comes out of retirement to line up on a YZ250 painted yellow this weekend. We haven't seen the hype race professionally since Monster Cup 2019, but he's been staying busy racing the Loretta Lynn's this summer, as well as the 2-stroke national at Glen Helen earlier this month. The immortal Josh Hansen will again line up for 2022 after losing to Ken Roczen in the semifinal of 2019, but winning the consolation race to end up 3rd on the podium. Hanny just recently signed a deal with Rockstar Energy and was most recently seen on a Husqvarna, so I would expect to see him on a TC 250 this weekend. And the 4th retired guy making a comeback is a real throwback with Nico Easy. A dominant force in the 250 class in the late 2000s, Nico hasn't been seen since racing a 250 outdoor in 2017, but he's not scored any Supercross points since 2015. The O'Neill-backed rider spent much of his career racing a Yamaha and seems to be staying blue this weekend. Now on to some privateer and satellite team guys we saw earlier this year. Working class hero Chris Blos announced his retirement from competition earlier this year, but that won't stop him from having fun. Fresh off the heels of his World Supercross podium in Cardiff this past weekend, Chris takes to a 2-stroke for his straight rhythm debut, but no mention of what color he will be mounted on. 2-time number 69 and Team Solitaire's Robbie Wageman will of course be racing a YZ250 this weekend. Robbie had another strong season racing in the 250 West class where he was running 8th in points before a gnarly crash ended his season early aboard a 450 in the Pulp MX Privateer race. Privateer hero Kevin Moranz will bring his KTM to Huntington Beach this weekend for what I believe is his straight rhythm debut. Moranz scored 53 points in his first full 450 season while also competing in 8 outdoor nationals this year. Austin Politelli returns after being knocked out in the first round by Cool Sealy in 2019. The Menifee, California native only made 3 main events in the 450 class this year, but still managed to score 18 points total, in big part due to his 13th place finish in Salt Lake City in the finale. The O'Neill-backed rider is set to race a Husky this weekend. Mesa, Arizona's Devin Raper will make his straight rhythm debut in 2022. The longtime privateer, who was most recently seen duking it out with Alex Ray in Indianapolis, Devin has ridden Kawasaki's for his entire pro career, and while he'll be wearing O'Neill, he has not disclosed what two-stroke machine he will be racing. If you want a true underdog to root for this year, look no further than Josh Greco. The full-time 450 privateer has been racing professionally since at least 2009, and according to RacerX, has still never made a pro main event. How could you not love this guy? Look at that mustache. He travels the country in a van with a pet raccoon. Just a man in a van with a coon and a dream. We've seen Josh ride many brands across his career, but I would expect to see him on something Austrian come this weekend. And finally, the one you may have been waiting for, the dog, the stanky one, the two-stroke whisperer, Jared Steinke. After coming out of nowhere to defeat Ronnie Mack in the 2017 two-stroke class, he instantly became a household name with an uncanny level of infamy. Expect to see the 726 on a KTM this weekend. And finally, 2 guys you may not be familiar with. Red Bull's Ivan Ramirez will line up on a KTM machine this weekend. No Moto or SX experience to write home about, but his list of accomplishments is long. A one-time Baja 250 champion, a National Hare and Hound champ, a Works Pro 2 and Open A champ, as well as earning 4 ISDE gold medals. And finally, the ever-talented 24-year-old Patrick Evans. The Charlotte-born rider does have limited Supercross experience as he attempted to qualify for Anaheim 3 this year on a 125 two-stroke in the 250 class, missing the cut by just 5 spots, but he is best known for his free riding and freestyle work as well as his 4 appearances in the 125 All-Star class back in 2019. We'll see Patrick on a KTM this weekend. A complete list of 125 riders is not available at the time of this recording, but early reports show entries from Carson Brown, Ryan Morris, Casey Cochran, AJ Catanzaro, Joshua Varese, Derek Kelly, Dylan Woodcock, Josh Thomas, Andy DeBrino, Nick Thury, Evan Ferry, and more. I feel like Red Bull Straight Rhythm is easily one of the most exciting events in the year, and in my opinion, the right way to do an off-season race. It's unique and exciting, and there's just nothing else like it. Tell me in the comments, who are you most excited to see line up this weekend? And also, who is a rider that's missing from the list that you would love to see show up and rip a two-stroke down a mile-long rhythm? Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out and subscribe to RotoMoto for more breaking news and analysis like this. The #1 way to get more eyes on the channel is to tell YouTube that this one was a good one. Thanks as always for watching RotoMoto. My name is Donnie. Keep it pinned to the weekend.